And now, live from the Daniel Scappin Studio, deep in the foothills of the North Georgia mountains, it's Mike Malloy.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday, this portion of it anyway, June the 1st, 2021. In the past couple of podcasts, I have been expressing an awful lot of fear about where the Christian fascists are taking this dying democratic republic. And, my fear is increasing daily. We all know that politicians bullshit. Okay, exaggerate. Okay, lie. Some of them, like the orange vomit, Donald Jesus Trump, has raised lying not to an art form, but to a destructive form of collapsing this democracy. And it continues, even though the orange vomit is no longer around in terms of the Oval Office. Oh, he's around, all right. He's exactly where he wants to be, in his hovel in Mar-a-Lago, sitting on his stack of cheeseburgers, dictating to the Christian fascists what to do and how to do it to bring down this democracy. So politicians lie and bullshit and exaggerate, especially when it comes to how bad things are at any given time. If you want proof of that, look at the political ads that are run during a campaign. Oh my God, you would think we were living, I don't know, in the 4th century. The world was being eaten alive by the Black Plague. It's just horrifying. Chris Cillizza mentioned this at his piece at CNN. He is CNN's editor at large. He gives an example. When politicians talk about the bitter partisanship in the Congress, students of history note that Senator Charles Sumner was beaten by Representative Preston Brooks with a cane on the floor of the Senate in 1856, which, well, okay, a little bit different back then, wasn't it? So when Biden remarks, as he did at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier on Memorial Day, when he remarks that, quote, democracy itself is in peril here at home and around the world, end quote, the natural reaction, of course, is to, roll your eyes or go, oh, Jesus, there he goes again, which I think a lot of people who listen to this podcast do periodically, if not daily. Roll their eye, oh, God, listen to Malloy, there he goes again. Democracy in peril in the United States? Really? Okay. As Cillizza points out, consider where we are as a country. Let's take a quick look. The Senate Republicans, that's what Chris Cillizza calls them, I call them Christian fascists, they just put an end to the idea of a bipartisan commission that would have investigated the Donald Jesus Trump-inspired attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Here's another one. The former president, the orange vomit, continues to refuse to concede defeat in the 2020 election. Just last week, this filthy son of a bitch issued a statement that said this, quote, massive numbers of dead people voted in the 2020 presidential election, far greater than anyone has known or seen before. No. Even metaphorically speaking, dead people did not vote in the last election. However, this filthy son of a bitch's lies are working. According to a Reuters Ipsos poll released last week, 53% of Republicans, that's a majority, said that the orange vomit was the true president. This is a result of his lies. Here's another one, which I mentioned yesterday. Texas Republicans spent the weekend trying to pass one of the most participation ending, let's put it that way, voting laws in the country. In other words, they're trying to eliminate the number of people who can participate in deciding the leaders of this country. Now, the Democrats, as I pointed out yesterday, they used a parliamentary tactic to make the son of a bitches stop. But even with that, so it didn't pass, but even with that, the pig governor there, Greg Abbott, says he is going to call in a special session of the legislature to get this into law. Now, let's not just beat up on Texas. 14 states have already passed laws making it more difficult to vote since the 2020 election. And there are dozens more bills that are moving through state legislatures around the country, especially the ones where the Christian fascists hold a minority or a majority. So if you add it all up, you get this. We are a country in which the truth, basic facts, like who won the election, are still being destroyed by the orange vomit and these Christian fascists. And Cillizza points out the partisanship is so severe that a bipartisan compromise to try to create a commission to study one of the worst days in American history, the attack led by Donald Jesus Trump on January 6th, was voted down. And the efforts are going on everywhere to restrict how people can cast ballots in future elections. Here's the point, as Cillizza points it out. Americans tend to believe that democracy is too powerful an idea to fall into disrepair. The last 4 years, however, have proven how tenuous a hold democracy has on the public. And if we don't fight for truth, fairness, and facts, we are in danger of losing them forever. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many podcasts I've devoted to that topic in the past 6 months or in the past 4 years. I mean, living during a Trump so-called presidency was horrifying. To watch the daily destruction going on, to watch the incremental growth of these right-wing nutfucks who are in everywhere now. They're in the military. They're in the police divisions. They are in politics. They are in the arts. They are in the schools. They are in the legislatures. They're still in a minority, but for how long? Let me give you an example. Michael Flynn, that disgrace to the United States military, that fucking traitor who was willing to work with Russian military intelligence to destabilize this country, General Michael Flynn, who at one time was the Orange Vomit's national security advisor. On Sunday, this rotten son of a bitch endorsed a Myanmar, formerly Burma, style coup in the United States. He wants to see one happen. Now, as we know for months, these Q bastards and these orange vomit supporting online forums have celebrated the deadly military coup in Myanmar. I didn't know that. These son of a bitches are going online in this country and celebrating the slaughter and death and destruction of democracy in Myanmar. And in these forums, and among these Q bitches and bastards, they're suggesting that the same thing should happen here, so that the orange vomit could be reinstated as president. Do you get this? I mean, this is happening now, right this minute. Now, this disgusting bastard Michael Flynn made those comments at a QAnon event in Dallas, Texas, of course, on Sunday. And this event was attended by the rotten peddlers of this QAnon bullshit and Trump's big lie. A member of the audience who identified himself as a Marine, if he is this person who asked the question I'm about to share with you, then this fucker ought to have every single thing that pertains to the Marine Corps taken from this bastard. But this is what he said to Flynn. Quote, I want to know why what happened in Myanmar, that's how he pronounced it, can't happen here. And this traitorous filth, Michael Flynn, responded, quote, no reason. I mean, it should happen here. No reason. That's right. It should happen here. Fuck.
Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.